Welcome everyone to Delta Entertainment, guys. I am your host, Lincoln Kenobi, and I hope everyone has had a good morning. Yes, there has been talk what has been going on with the Batman Part Two. They're trying to say that if it was either going to be joining the DCU, but now we just got reports that it has been delayed until 2027. So here's the highlight of the day. Let's see who we got. The Batman Part 2 has been officially delayed by another year. James Gunn breaks the silence on news. So, James Gunn has officially said it on Twitter, on X, that it has been officially canceled. I mean, officially delayed, I meant. Not canceled. My bad. And I got two more articles that I'm going to talk about in this video right now. And it discusses, like, if they were going to try, despite the if Robert Pattinson's Batman was going to be in the DCU, which of course it's been confirmed that he is not going to be part of the DCU. To me, it's good because it wouldn't make sense of it, you know. But let's get to discuss the details on what is going on. Update: DC Studios CEO James Gunn has broken his silence on the Batman 2's release date by saying the only reason for the delay is there isn't a full script. He added, Matt is committed to making the best film he possibly can, and no one can accurately guess exactly how long a script will take to write once there is a finished script. There is around 2 years for pre production, shooting, and post production on big films. So, this is what he wrote on Twitter. Because he made a reply from Rio Naxi. So, hello, James Gunn. Can you please confirm whether this is true or add some more context? Yeah, because he asked about what was going on with the Batman if it got delayed to 2027. And he said, yes, it is true. The only reason for the delay is there isn't a script. Those of you who follow me here probably know that already. Matt is committed to making the best film he can possibly accurately guess exactly how long a script will take. Once there is a finished script, there is around 2 years for pre-production, shooting, and post-production on big films. So he is confirmed that it is going to take a while. And then he wrote this. To be fair, a 5 years gap or more is fairly common in sequels. 7 years between Alien and Aliens, 14 years between Incredibles, 7 years between the first two Terminators, 13 years between Avatars, 36 years between Top Gun, and of course 6 years between Guardians Volumes 2 and 3. Yeah, he did make a confirmation on sequels. That's funny. Christmas is over, and so are our dreams of seeing the Batman Part 2 in theaters in 2026. Warner Brothers has confirmed today that the sequel is currently untitled, according to the Hollywood Reporter, has moved from October 22nd, 2026 to October 1st, 2027. Yes, that's a delay for an entire year. The second time it's been pushed by such a huge amount of time before 2023's Hollywood strikes. The movie had been scheduled for an October 2025 release. This news is hugely disappointing and means that we will have been a 5.5 year gap between the Batman and Batman Part 2. By the time the latter arrives, it will have also been 3 years between the Penguin and filmmaker Matt Reeves' continuation of the Batman epic crime saga. The Alejandro Gonzalez directed untitled movie starring Tom Cruise will now open on October 2nd, 2026. Mickey 17, meanwhile, has shifted to March 7th, and Sinners is heading our way on April 18th. The Penguin Season 2 is reportedly in the early stages of development and could, at this rate, reach us before the Batman sequel. Other noteworthy movies set to debut in 2027, including Avengers Secret Wars, Frozen 3, and the untitled Star Wars movies. If there's ever going to be a Star Wars movie. They're talking about the Star Wars sequel, not the Star Wars movie, not the Star Wars Mandalorian Grogu. Does this delay close the door on Robert Pattinson's Dark Knight joining the MCU? Would it be better to move on from the Batman franchise at this point, despite its critical and commercial success? Will fans and moviegoers still care to another 2.5 years? For now, only time will tell. What we do know is that Clayface dated for September 11, 2026 will no longer open more mere weeks before the Batman Part 2. Talking to Catwoman actor Zoe Kravitz for a recent Rarity profile, Reeves shared, "We're finishing the script we're going to be shooting next year. You're an incredibly meticulous filmmaker. I just asked you how it's going with writing, and you said slow. And I think that's a wonderful quality because you care so much." Elaborating on slow, the Batman Helmer detailed his creative process, explained why the sequel hasn't taken shape as quickly as some fans might like. "It's wonderful except for the speed of getting something done. The thing is that for me, I feel like it's not a choice. I always feel like I would never do it that way. I'm doing it except that that's the only way I know how to do it. Metaphor that I use when I'm talking to my partners is that writing filmmakers is like being in a dark room. Everything you need is in the room, but there are no lights and you're on hands and knees. And when something connects, you go, oh, that's something." So yeah, so the Batman's going to be releasing in October 1st, 2027. So hey, I mean, there has not been no script. There hasn't been nothing that's been going on. So I don't mind it being delayed because it's better they take their time than to try to rush the film. Because if they rush the film, it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be bad. So I'm glad they did that. So let's go to the next article. So stand by a minute. This is for now. The Batman. They are reportedly no plans to make Robert Pattinson of the DCU's Dark Knight despite 2020 delay. So yes, they have confirmed that Robert Pattinson's Batman is not going to be part of that DCU entertainment. Besides, to be honest, this is too dark and it's separate and it should be separate from it because I mean even despite if it's not part of it, Batman is a dark character role. But for something like this that Robert Pattinson is doing, I believe Matt Reeves is trying to take his time with this character. He wants his character to grow instead of trying to do it from that year or that second year and then try to fast forward it because there were talks that they were going to try to delay the Brave and the Bold movie and try to change it with this one. So like if they were going to try to combine it together, which wouldn't make sense. But that Brave and the Bold one has been delayed as well, so which I will be talking about in a minute. So let's get on this article. Earlier today, we got the disappointing news that Matt Reeves' The Batman sequel, which is no longer officially titled The Batman Part 2, has been hit with a major delay and now won't arrive in theaters. Despite studios co-head James Gunn taking to social media to state that delay was simply down to the fact that the script hasn't been finished, speculation mounted that some recent rumors relating to Gunn wanting to bring the star Robert Pattinson in as the DCU's Dark Knight might be the real reason. On last week's episode, The Hot Mic, co-host Chef Snyder shared some of the things he's heard about the Batman situation, and he believes that Gunn does indeed want Pattinson in the DCU, but Reeves is resistant to the idea. Whether there is any truth to this or not, Daniel Richmond has heard that for now there are still no plans to make Pattinson the DCU Batman. Things could always change on this front, but let's assume that Gunn and co still fully intend to cast a new Batman for Brave and the Bold. What is taking so long with the Batman sequel script? We've heard that some kind of personal issues might be involved. We're not sure if this means problems between Reeves and someone at the studio or it's home life, but we're just say that the rumor mill has been churning. So, all right. At this point, folding the Batverse into the DCU might make the most scene, if for no other reason than to avoid having two separate Batman franchises running alongside each other. By the time the Batman sequel actually hits theaters in 2027, there should have been at least some progress on the Brave and the Bold. Although director Andy Muschietti did reveal that the project has been postponed a little bit earlier today. Gunn has previously admitted that he did consider bringing Pattinson on as the DCU's Dark Knight. I've contemplated it, yeah. I contemplate everything and talk about everything. The filmmaker said in a recent interview, we have committed to both telling stories in the DCU and telling Elseworld stories. We want to be able to tell a story where Superman is very different or tell a Red Sun story or whatever. We want to be able to play with these characters in different ways. One of the things I love about DC and other Marvel comic book is those things are much more power plentiful, he added. There are many more Elseworld stories. I think that's part of the fun of DC. So, yeah. So for right now, there is not going to be no that Robert Pattinson is not going to be part of it. But in 2 years, bro, there could be a change. There could be a change in plans that they made part put Robert Pattinson's Batman as part of it. But I don't know, man. I mean, as time flies, bro, I have to understand this. I'm a little tired, guys. Sorry. As time flies, man, actors are getting old, bro. Actors are getting old. So there will be a chance that Robert Pattinson is going to probably be a little bit old enough, not a little bit too old enough to do the Batman third movie, if there is going to be a third Batman movie for him. But we'll see, we'll see. So now let's get to the next the last article that we're going to get to right now. So we'll leave it here. Now this one recently updated itself, so here we go. New details about why the visual effects heavy sequel has been pushed to 2027 possibly revealed. So, there has been talk, as you can see in the poster, that's Mr. Freeze. So there's been talk that Matt Reeves' the Batman 2 sequel is going to have Mr. Freeze in it. There was also a little bit of talk that there was going to be the Joker in it. So we don't know. But now there's something about the heavy visual effects. So there may be a possibility chance that Mr. Freeze was going to be in it. So let's see what we got. Yesterday, the news broke that the Batman sequel, originally dated for 2025, remember, has been pushed from 2026 to 2027. Understandably, fans are disappointed by the decision, and some are even convinced the movie will never see the light of day. That doesn't seem overly likely when the Batman grossed 772 million worldwide in 2022, or so soon after the small screen spin-off The Penguin became one of the most watched HBO TV shows ever. Stranger things have happened though. While we know the last year's Hollywood strikes, when Matt Reeves' slow writing have played a role in the delay, additional details have been shared by Deadline, according to the trade. Production now isn't scheduled to get started until the late summer. The movie is also described as visual effects heavy, a hint perhaps that the filmmaker has some particularly ambitious plans for his follow up. Also of a note is the fact that the Hollywood Reporter has confirmed that the movie is no longer titled The Batman Part 2. The sequel is officially untitled, and we can't help but wonder whether it's getting a completely different name tied to whatever different direction Reeves' story is currently headed in. While we advise taking with this with a pinch of salt, several online scoopers have also hinted that Reeves might be dealing with serious personal issues. We don't know what those are on whether it could be related to his or loved one's health. However, many things are ultimately more important than making a movie. In the Penguin, Batman's absence was undeniably distracting, and talking earlier this year, the filmmaker confirmed that there were at least some discussions about a cameo. Over the course of writing the season, we discussed many times whether or not there might be some costs through that would feel earned. We tried a few different ideas conceptually, nothing that was ever written ultimately, but nothing seemed to quite gel in a way that felt earned. Among the ideas considered was a scene with Batman showing up in front of Vic Oz right hand man, but even the ended up throwing things off too much. Reeves admitted showrunner Lauren LaFranc said, "We wanted our characters to be the predominant people that you're following in this show. Anything that's scared to detract started to detract from that wasn't servicing the type of show we wanted to do." While the backsuit is as close as the Penguin gets to teasing Batman, LaFranc confirmed it was there. To launch into Matt's second film, I very much like the idea of the Batman undercutting the strange, delusional scenario that Oz created for himself at the end. To merit all of his previous actions and to say, I finally made it, and then for us to say, maybe not, maybe you haven't. Reeves elaborated on that point by saying, "We're kind of flicking you at the end to say the story's not over. The idea that Oz and these characters could be on the collision, of course, at some point with Batman, that's of course out there. So we wanted to leave you with a sense of that without overshadowing that this is really the completion of the story. While the Court of Owls, the Joker, Mr. Freeze, Clayface are compelling possibilities, the Batman sequels, Big Bad might just be the Penguin. Though Colin Farrell was suggested he'll only appear in 5 or 6 scenes. Still, who knows how much the story has evolved given how much time has spent working on it. So yeah, I mean, this doesn't bode well, man. This does not bode well, man. So we'll see what let's see what their plans are and what they're doing. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the articles right now. So thank you for being in this channel, and I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share this video, post a comment below. Let me know your thoughts about this, and if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. All right, guys, thank you all so much, and I hope to see you guys soon. So I'll catch you guys later. So peace.